Here are 8 steps to communicate clearly with Sparklines, or what I like to call mini line charts. So step number 1 is to create a line chart using your data. This line chart has 4 lines in it representing 4 regions. Then step number 2, separate the lines out by breaking them out by individual regions so you can start to see the pattern for each region. This is the first version of your Sparklines. Then step number 3, remove grid lines and borders so that your eye is more easily drawn to what I like to call the data ink, or those individual lines. Then step number 4, format the axes so you can see that I cleaned up and formatted the axes, including the month for the first month in every single year in the bottom x-axis. Then step number 5, add 0 line and marks to the Sparkline. So I added the 0 line so you can see when your data is negative, whether it falls below or above 0, it creates a nice balance and a foundation for each of the Sparklines. Then I added those marks. They're hard to see, but they're little circles that are added to every single value or data point within all of the Sparklines. Then step number 6, now I can even add additional values to the Sparklines. This is something I love to do to provide extra insight around the story. So I added an average sales number over all 5 of these years for each of the different regions or each of the different Sparklines. So you get a quick view into the average sales for each of them. Then in step number 7, I can now use these little circles to draw in where the audience should focus. In this case, I'm looking at off-target circles or any of the values that have fallen below our target threshold. And then if you really want to pull those individual circles out within the Sparklines, you can change your blue to a strong red and make everything else gray by adding this extra red color. So now I can really see quickly and easily where I'm falling below target for each of the 4 regions. And this is how you transform a line chart into Sparklines to way more clearly communicate the story that is within the data.